Okay, so here's another Halloween-centric comic review centered around Mephisto versus the Marvel Universe. Technically it's called Mephisto versus, and it was kind of set up to 4 different Marvel teams, but to round it out, let's just call it Mephisto versus the Marvel Universe. So this was a comic that came out about the late 70s or early 80s. I'm a little sketchy on either. But yeah, basically this was a 4-part miniseries where Mephisto went around attacking the Fantastic Four, X-Factor, X-Men, and the Avengers. Basically, the 4 biggest teams in Marvel at the time. And yeah, he's more or less just running around causing trouble. So the story starts off with Mephisto psychologically attacking the Fantastic Four. And he's going around just causing all of this mayhem for them. He is just, he says, oh, you committed this sin or that sin, and you're going to hell. Really, he's just trying to get at Franklin Richards. Franklin, at this point, he was a little kid at this point. He was about, 4 or 5, I think? Maybe 6 at oldest, if I remember right. And what happened the last time, since Franklin is one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe as a kid, he destroyed Mephisto's physical body in their last fight, and Mephisto's come to repay the favor. But yeah, Mephisto he's brought the Fantastic Four to his world, and in his world, he is unstoppable. He more or less just demoralizes Ben Grimm in the worst way possible. He psychologically destroys Reed Richards, changing his past and saying that, oh, you made a deal with me to give the Fantastic Four their powers. It's your fault they all look like this. It's not true, of course, but still, it's along the lines of he made Reed think that for a little bit. But yeah, it's more or less his plan is to get Sue Richards. Why? It's not really a big thing, but when he goes to X-Factor, it's a little different. So Reed thinks he got a tip from Mephisto, and he goes to X-Factor for help. X-Factor at the time being the original 5 X-Men, who are claiming, originally X-Factor was meant to be like the original 5 mutants claiming to be a anti-mutant team that dealt with mutants, when really they're helping them. So Mephisto it's really weird, and I'll get to the point of why he's doing this, of why he's kidnapping certain people in his world. But the underlying plot is that Mephisto's realm is breaking apart, and Mephisto's power is diminishing at an accelerated rate. Not to mention the Living Tribunal, a literal god of the universe, is breathing down his neck. So Mephisto is just going around trying to fix the damage, while at the same time deal with all of these teams. And Mephisto has a plan for each one. He more or less casts illusions and all that. He nearly tricks X-Factor into claiming that he's the good guy. He makes a very good argument and saying that, oh, I'm the outcast, I'm the bad guy, because, I thought differently, just like you did. I was different from anyone else, and I got cast out of heaven. Technically speaking, and this is always changing in Marvel, that Mephisto's not really a demon, but in other cases they do treat him like one. It's very strange. Anyway, so Mephisto is trying his best to con the characters of X-Factor, and yeah, keep in mind that at this time, Scott left Madeline Pryor and their son Cable, and yeah, he left him for Jean when she came back. But yeah, it's a little complicated. It's a little more complicated than that, but put it bluntly. So he also psychologically damages Beast, and actually furthers his mutation and throws him out into the streets of an angry mob who try to lynch him. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad what he does to each member of X-Factor, or I guess you could say X-Men. But when he goes to X-Men, his main target is Rogue, and he more or less tricks her into doing his job of attacking the X-Men himself. Meanwhile, so the team, actually, let's talk about the team real quick of this X-Men lineup. It's Rogue, Wolverine, Psylocke, Storm, and I think Longshot. That's the team at the moment. I think this is after Mutant Massacre, now that I think about it. Yeah, I think this is shortly after Mutant Massacre, because the team had suffered a lot of losses. A lot of the team members were wounded. So really, it was just kind of down to those guys. It was really just down to them, honestly. So it came down to them, and then Mephisto comes along to after he captures Jean Grey. By the way, I forgot to mention that after capturing Jean Grey, he more or less antagonizes Rogue into claiming, "Oh, you can't stop me from siphoning the power of the X-Men." And Rogue gets the idea, "I got it. I'll siphon the X-Men's power myself." And she does that, not knowing that was his plan all along. And he captures, now that all the X-Men are weakened, he can just go along and take all the female members of the X-Men. So after taking them, he goes after his real prize, the soul of Thor, who has been wounded, and he's fighting against Hela, the Norse goddess of death, to claim his soul. And he's actually making a deal with Thor to do so, saying that, "Oh, I can fix your body." But at the same time, the Avengers are also trying to help Thor in his time of need. So they have to battle. It's not really much of a battle against the Avengers. It's more like he's going at... It should be called a Mephisto versus Thor, really, but the Avengers do play a part in here. So, yeah. There is some good moments there. The action's pretty good, but really, Mephisto, you guys have to understand that even though, he was used for that one story arc, just gotta remember, he was used for that one story arc, Mephisto was a major player back in the ye old days, before he got treated like, he got treated for using as a plot convenience for that one story. And you know which one I'm talking about. Yeah. People seem to forget that despite that one story where he wanted that one marriage that quintessentially damaged the character of that one character we all love, a lot of people seem to forget that, this is the guy who turned Johnny Blaze into Ghost Rider. Well, again, it varies between writer. This is the guy who has done a lot of damage to the Marvel Universe. He is he is an underrated powerhouse, and he shows it and also he's incredibly intelligent, and he's also, he didn't get the tagline "The Lord of Lies" for, he got that tagline "The Lord of Lies" for a reason, people. He got it because he's that damn good at lying. Again, he nearly makes all of X Factor believe that he's the victim. He tricks Rogue into doing his job of terrorizing the X-Men himself, and he also got the Fantastic Four to be emotionally drained to the point where they nearly gave up and died. So, yeah, give him some credit. And you may be wondering, well, what was his whole plan? Why did he kidnap the X-Men, Jean Grey, Sue Storm, and all these, and try to take Thor's life? Why did he do it? And what was the whole point of his realm being destroyed? Well, what was the whole point of it all? What was the whole reason? You want to know? You want to know the big end game of why he took on the 4 biggest Marvel teams at the time? He was trolling them. That's it. He was bored, and he just decided, I'm just going to screw with everybody today. He also did it just to piss off the Living Tribunal. He just did it as his way of giving the proverbial middle finger to the Living Tribunal, just saying, hey, I'm going to do this, and you can't stop me. That was it. That was his whole plan. He was feeling bored, and he just decided, I haven't psychologically damaged anybody today. I'm gonna make up for that. And that was his whole scheme. He just wanted to. He didn't need a reason. He's like an embodiment of evil. He doesn't really need a reason sometimes just to be evil. He just did all of this to be evil for evil's sake. That is a whole new level, isn't it? Of just being evil for evil's sake. Sometimes, again, he's Mephisto. He's the devil of the Marvel Universe, so you should expect something pointless and random like this from him. All in all, it's a pretty fun comic book. Mephisto, a lot of people again just point out that he was used for that for one more day, but this kind of reminds you, oh yeah, he's scary. This story reminds everyone that, oh yeah, he's scary. And and how he picks apart each team is really cool. There are some other moments in here that I didn't want to go into, just so in case you find the comic. I found it at a bookstore for about $10 at a discount. It's a nice little one. It's a nice little mini series that focuses on Mephisto just being evil. So if you want to see a villain at his best, then I would highly recommend it. It also came from the guy who created the character, John Buscema. I think that's how you say the last name. I think, and no, Al Milgrom. Did Al Milgrom or John Buscema create him? I want to say either one of those guys. I could be wrong on either one, because I know they did a run in Silver Surfer when he showed up, so that's maybe why I'm lumping him in with them creating that character, but again, I could be totally wrong. Anyway, so yeah, if you're interested in reading about the Lord of Lies just demoralizing the Marvel Universe of the 80s, then check this out. I recommend this, and once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.